All right, what's up, everybody? This is Diego from Caile,
This is Carlos.
and today we have our very special guest, Señor Barragan.
Yeah, I am not from Caile way, but I'm here. Wait,
Oh.
does that sound okay? Hold up.
I was to put it right here, fool, in the middle.
Hey, bro.
You're in the casting couch, bro. Don't be shy.
Like this?
Uh-huh.
I'm
There you
gonna
go.
I'll put it on this side. I'll put it on this side.
Yeah.
Hold up.
We're so glad to have you, bro.
Dude, I'm glad that y'all made me drive an hour here.
No, but
Hey, they made me drive an hour, bro. They didn't even have snacks.
hey, we do. Oh, damn! What type of Mexicans are we, bro?
Hey, whose house is this?
Dude, they had their little altar for Dia de los Muertos. I almost ate it.
Who got priced out?
Yeah, But again, welcome to Caile, Angel. Like, we're very excited to have you, bro. I think this is the second time that we meet in person, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like he swerved away from the whole priced out thing.
I know,
He knew
right?
where we were going. He's like, before y'all go there.
Okay, so life update, y'all. Like,
Because it has been a minute.
yeah, it has been a minute. I'm not in LA anymore. Well, I work out in LA, but I live in the IE now.
Yep.
I'm an IE boy.
There you go. And I've been here since 2021, 22, por ahí.
I got recruited to the IE. For those of you that don't know, the IE is the Inland Empire. And my partner and we were able to purchase the home. So
Why you sound sad, fool?
because, bro,
LA was everything, fool. LA was everything.
it tore me away from community.
No,
like
Wait, what was your TikTok name before?
my what?
What was your name before?
It's still the same, bro.
No, dude, it was
Diego from LA.
that's gonna
change
be
it. I gotta
Diego
change
from
it.
Diego from the Inland Empire.
I gotta update it. I gotta update it. No, but yeah, it's the so yeah, we're very excited. We're recent homeowners, so that's kind of what's been occupying me. But I think the center of attention today is Señor Barragan
Yeah, there you go.
on TikTok
He's like,
and
"Stop
also on
making fun
Instagram,
of me."
right?
He's like, stop making fun of me. I'm still from the hood.
Hey, I'm still from the hood. No, hands down. You get me? But today we have Señor Barragan on the podcast. And I think it's just it's actually our first episode from like 3 years, bro.
Yeah,
We
it's
haven't
been a minute,
recorded like a
fool.
podcast episode
For
yet.
us, I feel honored.
Yeah.
And also, thank y'all for having me. I know that it was very last minute. And then I'm glad that I was able to make it happen, dude. I was worried a little bit when y'all told me it's an hour away. And
Bro,
then I got to drive an hour back.
But it's
Without
more than
snacks.
That's me every
Yeah.
day, bro. Going to work, bro.
But it's more than just an hour, fool. Like, you're coming from like North California,
Yeah.
fool. And that's crazy. Like, you hit us up and it's like, hey, I'm gonna be down there. If you guys are down, we'll do an episode. And the fact that we were able to get you, that's awesome, bro. Like, we really do appreciate
Yeah,
it.
bro.
Not just the hour from fucking LA to over here to the Inland Empire, but just the 7 hours plus.
And still no snacks, though.
Bro, I have some. Do you want some? I got pan de muerto. Fool. I have some conchas right there if you want some.
Estoy a dieta, bro. Estoy a dieta, bro.
No, but food, like, hands down, like, even I think the other day you had left a comment on one of my videos, and then one of my coworkers that's a friend, she was like, oh my God, like, I didn't know you knew Señor Barragan. I saw him leave a comment in your video. I was like, yeah. Like, I went out to eat with him the other time he was in LA. She was like, for real? But I'm telling you, like, that's how we'll recognize you are in LA, bro. And a huge shout out to all the work that you've been doing, and I think it's like, right, like your life as an educator, your life as living like documented and everything. I think it's just something that you should be proud about, bro, because you really are like an inspiration, bro, to like a lot of people. Like, I think even when I started like my own content creating journey, bro, like you were already there, fool. And like I think you set like the template for like a lot of people. Mm-hmm. You get me? And I think the fact that you were an educator, that's something that like deeply resonated with me, because we're all educators right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for saying that, dude. When I started making content, it came out of a gap that I saw in the space. Like there were influencers that were Latinos, bro. They were making funny content, making fun of immigrants, making fun of themselves.
Yeah.
And I thought it was entertaining in general, but I saw that there was like a big gap for educated Latino men to come in and take up space and encourage other people to take up space. And I was like leaving teaching, right? And I was like, I need something to fill this hole for me as well. And it just happened to be like the perfect spot.
Yeah.
And now we have a lot of folks that are coming in and taking space, and I think it's beautiful. And we also have a lot of these platforms that are trying to make it more difficult for us. So I think it's more important than ever to uplift other people, as we find out about other folks that are doing dope work, uplift them in general. And then try to find as many spaces, like I started with TikTok and it took me way too long to start going to Instagram. Now I'm on Instagram and I'm like, oh my God, I should have gone to Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. And I'm like, what about YouTube? I should have been on YouTube.
What is it? YouTube Shorts or what is it called?
YouTube Shorts.
Shorts.
I'm like, we got to go everywhere, bro. We got to go everywhere. We got to take up space.
Yeah.
And one of these platforms is going to work out. And if not, dude, we just got to make our own platform at some point.
Yeah.
But for now.
And I like that you mentioned that you were like a teacher, because I think a lot of your content has been very informational. You get me? Whether it's like policy wise, or whether it's like how to treat each other with respect, or like how to encourage one another to learn to be a better person every day. Yeah. You get me? And I think that's like something that definitely made me like a fan of your content, because I think you approach everything with like wanting to teach people to be a better person every day. Yeah. So I just want to give you a huge shout out to that, because it's very easy to like call out somebody and dismiss them, but a lot of your content is very centered on like educating the individual to be a better person. And I think a lot of us can lack that, so it's just a huge shout out to you, bro.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think one of the main pillars for content that I create has to be around whether there's going to be a positive impact in the community. And there is a lot of things that come to my plate that I choose not to talk about. Like somebody does something terrible, I wanna call out the racism, lo que sea, and I'm like, this is not worth it. It's not worth like the division that it's gonna provide. Or there's something that's entertaining, and I'm like, I can't make something that's gonna be a learning thing out of this. I can't spark a conversation. So it's really being responsible with the content that we are creating. And I think that's the other part. Like, as people are on the come up, they need to like have those pillars of themselves and ensure that they're not getting drowned out. Like, oh, I gotta get views. Like, this thing is gonna get views, but it's gonna push forward the mission that you have for yourself. And my mission, in case you haven't heard it, is the uplifting and liberation of all historically marginalized communities with a hyper focus on people labeled immigrants with indigenous ancestry to this continent. Took me a long time to figure it out, and now I memorized it so I can say it all the time.
That's the educator in him, bro.
Diego, what's yours? What's your mission?
I think
on the spot.
No.
It used to be being from LA.
Yeah. Thank you for calling me out. Yeah. I think that's the and just being honest and vulnerable, right? Like, I think one of my grips has been being not torn away because I chose to be over here, right?
You got priced out.
I did get priced out, bro. Trust me, for like I was telling my girl, I was like, look, like I want to stay in South Central, because I also think like brain drain is very real, bro. Like I grew up on an idea of like, oh, to make it you have to leave the hood, but that's not what resonated with me, because I think like we have to remain in the spaces that we occupy to improve them, and I feel like I let my own self down not being in LA at this point.
Let me look at the camera. I've been making fun of Diego, but the same thing happened to me.
Let us know.
I grew up in Redwood City, California. It used
Redwood?
to be called Redwood City. It used to be
bro.
called Little Apatzingán, Little Michoacán, Little Mexico, all of those different things.
Man.
And I moved to San Jose, California, so I could be closer to work. But my dream was always to go back to Redwood City. That's my community. That's where I want to be. When I was a principal, that's where I was a principal at. And I couldn't afford it, bro. I couldn't afford it. So I moved to Mountain View, California. You'd be surprised. Mountain View is right next to Google. I live like 10 minutes from Google. And it was more affordable to live in Mountain View, California, which is with all of this like rich people, all of that stuff, than to live in Redwood City because of gentrification. So I keep making fun of you, bro, but me too.
No,
this fool too, actually, by the way. Hey, that fool left first.
Yeah. He recruited me over here. Put him on the spot, bro. Put him on the spot.
I did leave first, and one of the things is when me and my wife were starting to explore different.
Don't blame your wife, bro.
No. Hey, hold on. Pause. He recently just got married.
Literally, yeah. So recently we actually did get married. So we did everything backwards, and it's funny that we talked about that because we had kids first, and then we got a house, and then we actually got married. So we did everything supposedly right backwards. But when we were looking,
that just sounds like the Mexican way, bro. Like,
and so when we were looking for houses, and just as far as like what the cost is, and we already had Elijah at that point, we were just thinking like, man, we would really like to stay here because her whole family is in Maywood. And we were really thinking about like, we really want to stay here. But when we start to look at the prices and the size of the homes, it's literally what Diego was talking about. We got priced out. And we were thinking about like Elijah and
Elijah's your firstborn.
He's my firstborn child. Yeah. Game of Thrones. Firstborn. We were just like, okay, let's go look into Ontario, right? And we looked into Jurupa and Rialto and Fontana. And fuck it, we just have to keep moving further and further east. And eventually, when we did find, the house that we found, it was a big decision. It really, really was a big decision to make because, at least for my partner, when her family moved to Maywood and they made kind of like this community, for her moving out was literally, she moved away from the people who she knew in that neighborhood.
Yeah, what's that term for communities that end up leaving there's one term. There's one term about like this idea of like the diaspora.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's like like diaspora nonetheless, dude. Yeah. But you know what's super interesting about this is like we have 3 examples here of people that like did not want to leave the hood, and like according to like us, it's a bunch of people that didn't want to leave the hood, and then we grew up thinking that that's how you make it. Leaving the hood is how you make it. Getting your family out the hood, and we all got priced out. Yeah, from being able to live there.
But it's real, bro. Yeah, like those are real issues that exist in California, dude.
Funny story.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Let us know.
I was thinking back to getting my first paycheck as a teacher, right? And like I started off at $47K a year. $47K a year. First year teacher. And I've never seen that amount of money in my lifetime. I just got the letter and I saw $47K. I used to work at GameStop, bro. I was making like $15 an hour. So I saw $47K. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm rich.
God damn.
This is how I get my family out there.
Careful, you could turn Republican after that one, bro.
I got my red hat. Nah, dude, I was living paycheck to paycheck. Dude. I don't know if I've shared this with you. I used to live in an immigrant home. Yeah. Like when we first came to the United States, like we went to this immigrant home. After like moving around a bunch, and then we were there. It was like hella people living there. Then my dad, like he had a very good job, so we were able to move out to our own space from Redwood City to East Menlo Park to East Palo Alto. If you don't know the area, just like it's like 20 minutes away from each other. Yeah. And then after my dad got deported, we lost the house. The house got repossessed, and we had to move back into that immigrant home when I was 18, freshly in college. Yeah. And I lived in that home. It was we got one room. We were really lucky that we got one room, and it was my mom, my sister sleeping on the bed, and my brother and I sleeping on the floor.
Where are you in the order? I am
the oldest brother.
You're the oldest? Oh,
I was a freshman in college when this happened. Bro, I stayed in that immigrant home till I was a teacher, for first year teacher, like, which was crazy that I was living in that home, and then it just like messes you up, bro. This idea of like normality, what's supposed to be normal. I had like culture shock a bunch of times when like we had parent teacher conferences, and then we had one of our teachers talking about like, oh, it's so sad. We have this one student, and every other day he has to sleep on the couch because they need to share the bed with the brother. And I was like, what's the big deal, bro? Like, sleeping on the couch. That sounds nice. Yeah. I had a nice floor, Yeah. And then it took me like, oh my God, like
that's an upgrade, homie.
I'm like, that stuff is not normal, bro. But anyway, it just reminded me of like my $47K that did not get me out the hood. Yeah. And then like I would give anything to go back and live right back in the hood, dude. It's comfortable. It's comfortable.
And I think you bring up like a very important point, bro, because like I think I remember being in high school and applying for college. And then I had to use like my dad's taxes, right? So that was the first moment I became aware of like how much he earns.
You're like, he's rich.
No, bro. Like,
you know what's crazy though, bro? Like when you're doing your FAFSA, and then you're asking your parents like, "Oh, how much do y'all make?" Like, "¿Para qué quieres saber eso?" Yeah. What do you want to know that for? And it's like, oh, well, the government asking for it. Like, what do you mean the government?
Oh, y'all are rich.
No, I did get FAFSA though, bro. But like,
hey, there's Caile, California Dream.
I didn't have it.
Hey, but how old are you? If you don't mind asking.
I love the way that Diego points at me, bro. I don't know why. It's like,
no,
how old are you?
No, because I acknowledge that it came at a point, bro. Like, it came at a specific point, bro. Because I had a homie when we were applying for FAFSA, bro. He called his mom. He was like, "What's my social?" And his mom was like, "You don't have one."
I am 33.
You're millennial. Yeah, you're 1991.
92.
92.
Right.
Oh, okay. We're I'm 94. I'm 94.
I'm 93. Fool.
Oh, shit.
Boo, 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 boo.
Estoy viejo.
But
92, 93, 94.
like it was 2011.
You a baby, bro.
It was 2011 though, because I think the Dreamers, the AB 540 had passed like in 2008, 2009 when Obama came in or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But in 2011, like we were applying for college, and I had a homie who was like, he called his mom, bro, and he was like, "Hey, like, what's my social so I can apply to financial aid to the FAFSA?" And she was like, "You don't have a social, you know." And he just checked out, bro.
Yeah.
You get me? He just checked out, but we were like, "Hey, like, there's an opportunity because you can apply to the Dream Act, this and that and that." But he was just checked out of the sense of like his parents lying and withholding that from him, you know. But at that point, when I had asked my dad, I was like, "Hey, like, I need to know how much you make like a year, like, so that I can input it into the FAFSA application." This fool was making like 24K, fool. I'm the second oldest of 6 boys, bro.
Yeah.
You get me? So it was like, what? Like, he, you know, obviously, but my mom was also a street vendor, so she was like supporting throughout the household and everything. You know, but that's why like I'm very blessed to be in California, because there's a lot of progressive policies in California that we benefit from. You know, and I think the AB 540 and everything is very important for us over here.
Well, one thing I want to ask them was, at least as a school counselor, because we work on the California Dream Act and the financial aid, and we're constantly helping with students.
Yeah.
When it comes to them going to college,
which is important, bro.
And one of the things that I think about is oftentimes I do ask students, you know, do they do taxes or do they do, you know, and when they don't, it's like, okay, when we fill out the CADA or when we fill out the, you know, the idea is for the local community college, because a lot of local community college are willing to support students. You can't go to college and get a college education, but then I guess that's where, as a high school counselor, that's where it ends, because once I send them off, it's like, okay, now I'm hoping that I gave you all the information as far as like how to ask questions, you know, and how to figure out what you need to do so that you can then go forward from that. Because
it's so difficult.
It's
so difficult for young people, because that in itself can be the barrier, right? Just the idea like, oh, I can't apply to a 4-year like the rest of my friends. Oh, dang, that sucks. Oh, community college. Oh, but if I couldn't apply to a 4-year, what am I gonna do after? Or like, what am I gonna do when I graduate and I can't work? Like, shouldn't I just start working right now? I had a lot of students in my school. Not a lot. I had a few students in my school that were struggling through making the decision of what the next step was. And like, as somebody that got out of the poverty line thanks to education, I want to tell them to go to education. But sometimes like I don't know what to tell them. Like they're right. Like, it's difficult. It's gonna be hard. It might not pan out. I don't want to make false promises. But this might be their only chance. So,
so when you say like your students, is that you as a teacher or is that you as a principal?
When I was a principal, but it happened as a teacher too. I think my like in the network that I worked in, I was very open about being undocumented. So students would come out to me, or like families, teachers, other teachers would reach out to me just to be able to get advice. I wasn't the holder of like the knowledge, right? But I think like my story carried a lot of weight with people that were struggling to decide whether or not they wanted to continue on that pathway. I think that's one of the important things about having educators of color in spaces, you know, like having somebody feel like they can be seen, that they understand their struggles, and that they are looking out for them and their best interests.
And I like that you mentioned that, just because like after high school, I attended Cal State in California, right? Like, but then I dropped out the first semester, and then I went to a community college. You know, and then the community college transfer pipeline to like I transferred to like UCLA. But when I was at UCLA, like I remember reading an educator, her name was Dr. Tarayoso, and she was talking about like navigational capital. You know, like how you navigate institutions as a person of color, this and that. You know, and I think it's very important because you build that as you experience it. You know, like, so me being someone who went to a Cal State, and then I dropped out, and then I went to a community college, and then from a community college I transferred to like a UC but I wasn't eligible for that UC when I was in high school. You know, and then I transferred to that UC thanks to community college that gave me that second chance. You know, and I was able to then learn about that experience, but also bring it back home. You know, like tell my older brother, like, hey, like, you want to go to college, bro? Like, go to community college. Start there and then transfer. You know, so my older brother went to community college. My brother after me went to community college, and then he transferred to Cal State Long Beach, and then he graduated from Cal State Long Beach. The one after him, he was able to go to Cal State right after. You know, and then the youngest one right now, he's going to a community college, you know, but he's on the transfer pipeline to transfer to like a 4-year, you know, but it goes back to like that. I have experienced this. Let me bring it back home. Let me talk to you about financial aid. Let me talk to you about like the Dream Act, you know, and how we go about that.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, who taught you that? Like, who was the person that walked you through the steps to make sure that you knew that it was possible? Because that's I see so many people that start the community college process, and they do here, like, I can transfer out.
Yeah.
I can do all of that stuff. And then they don't know who to go to. They don't know that they need to go talk to someone. And then next thing you know, it's like, it's over. Like, they missed too many classes. They took the wrong class. Like, it took them 4 or 5 years, something like that. Who taught you that? Where did you learn that? ChatGPT?
ChatGPT didn't exist back then, brother. This was like
because he a youngin, bro. That's
bro, I'm like a year younger than you.
2 years. Come on.
2 years. Oh, yeah,
Respect
2 years.
your elders.
It's 2, 1, and then boom. No, like I like that you asked that, just because it's the I don't think community college taught me that. Like I was in community college, and I joined a program called EOPS that exists in the state of California in community colleges. And that program was focused on providing support to like students from a low income background, students from like it's just a program, bro, that like check out if your community college has it. You know, apply and find out if you're eligible. You know, and then
you gotta look at the camera and say that, dude. You look at that fool.
No, okay. I'll be vulnerable. Fool. It just that year my parents were arguing. Fool, they were going through a separation, so I couldn't focus at the Cal State that I was at. Yeah. And my mom was like, "Can't you just come somewhere closer for college?"
Oh, I mean, tell them to go to EOPS, fool.
EOPS, fool.
You know, and then when I was there, like my mom was like, "Can't you just go somewhere closer?" I was like, "Okay, like let me find out a community college around the area." But I had friends from high school who went to a community college, and they were like, "Just come over here, bro. Like we're here, you know." So then I went, but I dropped out of a Cal State, and then I knew that like at that community college I had to ask for help because I didn't do it at the Cal State, you know. So then at the community college, like I found out, I was like, "Hey, what programs are there to support students?" And then there was one called EOPS, and then I was eligible for it, and that program just transformed my life, bro, because my parents were going through the separation at that point. So it was like, I also had to work. And then somebody was like, hey, like if you're part of EOPS, you'll get part of your registration. You know, you can have your classes like Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday. And then the other days you can go ahead and work. I was like, hell yeah. Like that sounds dope as hell to me. Like, you know, so then that's what happened. And then I would go to class Monday, Wednesday, and I would work Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You know,
full schedule.
Yeah, bro. Like, full time. You know, yeah. I was working like 35, 39 hours, like, you know, and I was working like in West Hollywood, bro. I would drive, I'd be like in the car, like, oh, why, you know, but that's a schedule that worked for me. And that program provided me the ability to register to the classes that I needed to transfer out.
Yeah. So that was, I love that you mentioned that as a turning point or like a moment of like awakening or like a moment of like pathway. Did you have one too? I had one too of like, that put me in the right. I was like going to college, and it was like I want to hear from yours first. Yeah, like if there was like a moment that was like.
Where did you go to college then?
I went to San Francisco State University.
Okay,
and then I got my master's at the University of San Francisco after.
Oh, okay. What did you study at San Francisco State then?
I'm gonna go into my story then.
Let us know. That's what we're here. We're here to know about you.
So like when I went to San Francisco State. By the way, me getting at the San Francisco State was like a wild thing too. I wanted to go to St. Mary's College or University of the Pacific. Like those were the schools that I wanted to. I was like, it was beautiful. Like I went to visit them with my high school, and I got into them. And then they were both private, so I knew because I'm undocumented, they were supposed to help undocumented students out. And then they both gave me $0 in financial aid.
Oh, damn.
And I was like, dang. So I thought I wasn't going to go to school. I thought I was going to go to community college. And then I got into San Francisco State, and I don't even remember applying. I'm sure like I did it as a safety or whatever, you know. And then after I got accepted, I got like a scholarship and another scholarship and another scholarship. And next thing you know, I'm like, I have a full ride to commute to San Francisco State. So it just like ended up working out. But my first 2 years at San Francisco State, I went and I was really like on no path. I didn't have a path. Yeah. I was going to school. I was taking my 12 units because that was the minimum so I could keep my scholarships. And then I was going home and I was playing like Call of Duty till like 2 a.m. And then at 3 a.m.
Call of Duty was active back then, bro.
Modern
Warfare or Black Ops?
Oh, yeah.
And me and my homies would go to Denny's or IHOP at 3 a.m. in the morning, and then like.
How much time did you spend creating your calling card, fool? On Black Ops, fool?
A little too much, bro. A little too much. I put in like when I looked at the reason why I don't play games like Call of Duty like I used to is because I looked at the amount of hours that I spent, and I was like,
because it tells you.
I was like, oh my god, this equals to like several like dozens of weeks of my life.
Literally,
and I was
bro.
like, Jesus, bro. But anyway, so like I really had no path. I was like maybe I want to be a teacher. Maybe I want to be a math teacher. Like I'm not sure what I want to do. And then there was some classes called Raza Studies.
Okay.
No idea what that was. Like.
And this says SF State.
SF State.
Yeah.
Okay.
But and then so like one day I had like 3 open units and I needed something to meet up a specific requirement. And I was like, you know, I'll take this literature class for my Raza studies.
Yeah.
No clue. The first time ever that I found out, and this is going to sound ridiculous, bro, or maybe not. That was the first time ever that I found out that Latinos wrote books and that they were good.
Yeah.
Wow.
What do you mean that I have to be in college?
Yeah.
Take this class that I had no idea, Raza Literature with Professor Murguia, bro, to learn that Latinos write books and they are fucking good.
Yeah.
I mean, we of course like there was like The House on Mango Street, right?
Yeah,
like we all read that, right? Yeah. There was the ¿Cómo se llama La Casa de Cartón? What is it? The book called? You know what I'm talking about? The with the immigrant kid, and now he's a professor at Santa Clara.
I read Always Running.
Always running.
Always running. Yeah. Anyways, all to say is like I read this book.
That's it.
All these books, bro, and then I that's when I found out like Latinos write books. Like, what do you mean? And the teacher, like, he would come and he would read. He was like the poet laureate of San Francisco. He was like this inspiring, like straight up, like just like Latino Chicano. And I'm like, wow, like I've never been inspired like this before.
Yeah.
And he would have this. They said the Latino community is as sharp as diamonds. He would just keep repeating that, and I was like, it just like stuck to me, bro. And then I said, well, like I wanna major in this. I wanna learn more. And then like I just kept saying like, why? Like I can see myself as a leader. Why am I not a leader? Yeah. And then I promised myself like the next semester, whatever organization walks up to me, I will sign up to be a member. And all because of that Raza Studies class that I took. And the next year, I took a class for an English class for one of the requirements. It was an ethnic studies class. Yeah. And the teacher comes in, rest in peace, Phil Klasky. He was a professor, amazing guy. And he said, I have the ethnic studies student organization, and we're looking for people. And I'm like, sign me up. Yeah. And bro, like it's just like put me like in the right path. Yeah. I met the right people. I became the president of the ethnic studies student organization. Ethnic studies was created at San Francisco State. The place was full of knowledge, a bunch of stuff that I didn't know. But just because of that, bro, I ended up like taking 21 units back to back to back. I was like the president here, vice president here. Yeah. I was working. I got my black belt. I was like doing everything, and I just was so empowered. And that's what set me on this pathway. I ended up double majoring, bro, from somebody that was barely going to class, doing the minimum, to like double majoring at the end in Raza Studies. They changed it to Latino Studies because you know, mejoró la raza, problematic. Yeah. So Latino Studies and Spanish. And then like became a teacher like right out the gate, no credential, nothing, like, and it ended up being like the perfect path for me. But it gave me the language, the empowerment, the pride, and also just like the ability to say like I am capable of accomplishing anything that I want. And like I carry that everywhere, bro. Like I be setting up random projects, like I'm gonna go do it, and then I just go and I'm like talking to whatever. Like I think like the live project that I'm doing right now, it's just one day I'm like, you know what, like I want to grow on this thing. I am committing to talking to Trump supporters for 2 hours a day, multiple times a week, and I'm like, okay, let's go do it.
Yeah, I say on my car drives.
And I love that you mentioned that. You know, just because I think like a lot of what you mentioned was college creating that sense of belonging for you. You know, and I think that's very important because when I went to college, like I didn't know what the fuck a Chicano was, bro. Like in South Central, like South Central is very much like you're Mexican or you're black. It was like that. You know, as opposed to like East LA where it was like, oh, you're Mexican descending, you're Chicano, whoop-de-woo, this and that. Yeah. You know, so when I went to college, it was like, oh, like you're a Chicano because your parents are Mexican. You're born in California. And you know, and there was a lot of curriculum that at that point resonated with me, and I was like, oh, damn, like this is who I am. You know, like honoring my parents' sacrifices, coming from my parents are immigrants, whoop-de-woo, right? So I was like, it inspired me to then continue to pursue the next step, which was transferring to a 4-year, earning a bachelor's.
Yeah, representation, bro. Representation is so important.
Yeah.
And like it's crazy. Like I like to repeat that part that it took for me to go to college to learn that like Latinos write good books. And like that's the craziest
exactly,
thing,
dude.
Bro. Like what do you mean? And it's by design, dude.
Yeah.
It's by design that they are trying to limit our communities from being able to become empowered in general, you know. Well, let me ask you, so we're talking about representation. Is there a film where y'all? What was the last film? Let's go with that. Okay. What was the first film that you saw where you felt represented? Nacho Libre? No.
Oh, I haven't seen it, bro.
You've never seen Nacho Libre?
I haven't seen it, but this fool has been talking about it.
No.
Which one? Nacho Libre?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, Nacho Libre is up there, bro. But I do remember. I mean, Stand and Deliver. I feel like it's just a staple where like they were rolling TV and you know.
That was problematic as hell, bro.
I know.
Who?
Right? Escalante.
I know. Escalante.
Jaime Escalante? Really?
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna.
I don't know, bro.
I'm not gonna break your little heart, bro.
I don't know.
Google it later.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the fact that I still see that fool like on TikToks and people are like, you know, and people are
it's empowering,
it.
bro. It's empowering.
No, it is.
I guess for me it was different. Like my dad worked, my mom was the one that stayed at home.
Yeah.
And then we would always watch a canal called Caile. And they would always have like Santos versus La Momia, La Llorona, Santos and Blue Demo versus like Whoop-de-Woo, right? That's when I feel represented, just because the idea in South Central, bro, is like South Central could be very segregated because there's also a lot of prison politics that come into play.
That's true, yeah.
So it was like, my parents were like, oh, tú eres mexicano. You know, because the other was like, oh, son los morenos. You know, and that's not a negative connotation or anything. It was just, that's how it was, you know.
Yeah.
And
this or that.
Yeah, it was like this or that, you know. And I'm very fortunate that my parents were very progressive in the sense of like where they weren't colorist or like anything like that, you know. But that's just how it was in South Central. But then when I went to community college, they were like, "Oh, you're Chicano because of this and that and that." And I was like,
"You're Chicano." Eh?
What is Chicano? What the hell? Like, wait, I thought it was Mexican. Like, you know.
Came home to tell his parents, "Call me a Chicano."
Yeah, and they were like, and then in that class, the ethnic studies class, they had a project that was like, "Oh, go to East LA for the Dia de los Muertos parade." And then I went, and it was so beautiful, bro. Like a lot of people from East LA, Boyle Heights, in that area, trying to retain aspects of their culture. You get me? In how they celebrated it, and I was like, "Oh, damn!" Like, it's a different experience being from East LA and being from South Central.
That's interesting, dude, because it's
bro. Like,
I'm not
trust
from
me,
here.
like,
Something like that's LA, bro. LA is LA.
No, but I'm telling you, fool.
But if you compare it to the Bay, it's like,
bro.
I mean, when you think about like East LA, because LA is so region.
Yeah,
LA in general is so Because I mean, you could go as far as up as the Valley, right? Which is,
and that's still LA,
and which is technically still, technically LA, but you can go as far down as fucking Long Beach, bro. And that already, how many miles is that from fucking the Valley down to Long Beach?
At least 7.
No,
bro, like
40,
30, 40.
I would say 40.
That's what I said, at
like
least,
40
bro.
miles.
Bro, it's not a lot. It's not a lot. It's like 30, 40.
I would say 30 to 40 miles from the fucking Valley down to Long Beach. But then you go as far east as fucking East LA. It's so big, and the region of Mexicanos, and not just Mexicanos, right? Like, fucking every region. But there's so many ways to think about. I'm Mexican, but what's the difference?
Yeah.
I mean, Mexico is also Mexicans are such a diverse thing.
Hey, no, yeah, you're right.
Like there is like I am not one of the sombrero Mexicans.
Yeah.
Like I've been practicing my grito, bro. But I'm not one of those.
I've seen
Mexicans.
it.
I'm a what's it called? I grew up on rock en español. That's the type of Mexican that I grew up around.
I'm also shocked that you're in the Bay.
Yeah.
Like what?
Like you're
Like because in my head it's like it's LA.
Yeah.
And then they kept going further.
Yeah.
Like
Keep
why?
going.
What was there? You know, like at that point.
Yeah. Well, you're from South Central too.
No, I'm from Southeast.
He's from Sela.
Fucking
Yeah,
loser.
Sela.
Bro.
He's from Sela.
Fucking
You don't know what
loser,
Sela
bro.
is. Southeast LA. He's from Southeast LA.
LA.
You fucking geek.
The income bracket
You watch
went up.
Naruto, huh?
Nerd.
Me
Hey,
too.
the income bracket went up here. You know,
No, yeah, from
but
Southeast LA, fool. Yeah. So,
But
You
I-
only get one ghetto, bro.
No,
yeah,
That's the
fam.
ghetto,
Yeah.
ghetto.
But-
ghetto.
I'm ghetto, fool. Yeah.
I'll be honest, fool. Like my experience coming from a mixed status family, the further you went into like the Southeast LA region, the more the parents had documents.
Yeah.
You know, and it was always like a trip to me because
If you go further east from where I'm at, that's when you get into Paramount and Downey. Fool. And
There's more
Paramount
income,
and
bro.
Downey, Paramount and Downey, that's was like the rich Mexicans, fool. Like
Yeah.
that's where they were, and we were like bordering Alameda, and then you hit Linwood, and then you hit Downey, Paramount, like all those areas.
You know what's funny is that they're all Mexicans, though.
And that's the thing, fool. Like
yes, but there's
just-
such a distinguishment between it.
fool,
Yeah, I went to a wedding and they started playing like some Mexican music, and then I saw this fool doing backflip and like being on the ground, bro, and like it was like a song about an iguana, I think. And I'm sure I'm gonna get roasted with it if you guys post this online. I don't know the name of the song, but it was like a song, and they were like just flipping, and I'm like, oh my god, like I do not feel Mexican right now, bro. Put me a three, put some manal.
But where's your parents from then? Your family?
Michoacan.
Michoacan? What part of Michoacan then?
My mom is from a little town called Singio, and my father is from a little town called Playa Azul. So my mom is
Both in
like,
Michoacan?
Yeah, both in Michoacan.
Okay.
So my mom is near Morelia, and my dad is near Lázaro Cárdenas.
There's
So-
a ska band called Café con Tequila that plays a song called Playa Sur. We have to listen to it afterwards.
So the rock en español, who'd you heard it from? Was it your parents or?
From my dad, yeah.
Oh,
From my dad and my uncle. So it's like my tasty music, bro. It's like I've been listening to Leonardo Fabio. I've been listening to just like random Jose, like that. But we never got into like rancheras. We never got into like we listen to Vicente because everyone listens to Vicente.
Yeah.
But like corridos, like nope, not a part of like the culture that I grew up in. I can appreciate them now.
Yeah.
Right. And I can appreciate like the impact that they have.
Yeah.
But I just didn't grow up with it. Not that type of Mexican.
and I feel you, you know, and I think that highlights like the diversity that exists within Mexico. Just because it was my assumption that a lot of quote unquote city Mexicans were the rock en español.
Interesting.
You know, because when I was listening to rock, my parents were from like they're from Colima, which is like the third smallest state in Mexico. You know, so it's very agrarian, like very rancho, quote unquote, right? And then I remember listening to like rock and stuff like that, and my parents were like, "What the fuck is that?"
Eso es el diablo.
Es música del demonio, Satanás, wuti-woo. And then I remember one time playing Jose, and I remember my dad like coming out, he was like, "Eso sí es
He
música."
poured you a shot.
Yeah, no, he
Finally become a man.
he
15,
validated
bro.
my whole music taste. He was like, "Eso sí es música."
Yeah.
You know, but it was like, which is very interesting. Let me tell you this. This is anecdotal.
The wheels are turning, fool.
South Central, like LA, bro. LA is divided and is segregated, bro, by economic class. Every time I stepped out of South Central, people listen to Spanish rock. But when I was in South Central, what your neighbor was listening to, because your neighbors were black, they were listening to hip hop. So you weren't listening to like Spanish rock. Spanish rock to me was like, I had to tell my dad, I was like, what the fuck? Like rock exists in Mexico. Like, don't tell me I'm fucking weird, bro. Like,
How dare you?
I had to
You don't know
argue.
your own culture.
I had a bro. It was during the Eres emo. It was during the
Emo,
08, 09. I had to argue with him, fool. I was like, what the fuck? Like, el rock existe en Mexico, like type of shit. Like, he was like, what? You know? and I had to educate him on that, fool. But it was because in my proximity, it was hip hop. But when I stepped out to like Bell Gardens, HP, Southgate, it was very much like the rock en español. And I don't know if it was the different like socioeconomic status that existed between those communities, fool. But every time I would come back to South Central, bro, like rock en español was minimal, fool.
That's interesting. When did y'all ever dabble in like Mexican hip hop?
I did.
No,
I did.
I don't think I did.
Or even like Mexican American hip hop?
I dabbled.
Oh, yeah, of course, y'all know.
Yeah, I know who Aquid is, yeah. But in the Mexican hip hop, and they get down, it just, I had a homie called Chispas, and he was from Guadalajara, but he came to work over here, and then he would just, I met him in high school. You get me? So then he was like, hey, fool, like, I'm coming back to LA, woo-de-woo, this and that. I was like, bro, well, we have an extra room, like, you can come stay with us, you know? But all he would bump was Mexican hip hop. And I was like, oh, damn, like, I didn't know hip hop existed like that in Mexico.
Yeah, dude, it's deep, bro. I love like Mexican hip hop. It's just the way that you're able to play with rhymes in the Spanish language. It's like way like it's like so interesting to me.
Yeah.
But even like hip hop and like from Latinos in the United States, it's also like, but like, oh, if somebody asks you now, who's your favorite Mexican American rapper though?
I don't think I have one. I just don't listen to rap.
Canceled.
Like
Canceled.
I'm sorry, I don't listen to rap like
It's
that.
not the product. Just
It's
remember
Kendrick.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
It's no the product from now on.
Another product?
No, but she gets down though.
She gets down.
She gets down. But
good.
she's from the Bay, so I understand why you're like, oh, it's still the product. Like,
Well, I was saying,
it's very regional.
It's Mexican American rappers that are putting in work like that.
Yeah.
No, I think she says the template. I think she's, but again, like,
But she's been big
I'm
for
in a
minute,
bubble,
though.
bro. I'm in a bubble, fool.
Yeah.
Like South Central, you're in a bubble.
What's the bubble?
South Central.
It just what occurs within your proximity. Like honestly, like the other thing too was understanding that people from outside of South Central were coming to South Central to listen to ska music. Like the South Central ska music scene was a whole thing, bro.
Yeah,
And I remember going to like a few shows, and in my head I was like, "What is this?" But in hindsight, when I hear other people talk about it, I was like, "South Central was active, bro."
I mean,
for like ska.
isn't ska just like, like rock?
No, fool. Ska is so.
yeah.
Let Carlos tell you about that.
He looks offended over there. Like this.
He's like, "You don't know ska, Diego. Shut the fuck up. I introduced you to it, bro. Shut the fuck up."
Look at my face. My eyes, top to the left. Fool.
Education moment right here. Q.
No, I mean when it comes to ska, I mean it's just I guess you can say like a cacophony of just different cultures coming
Can you explain
together.
a cacophony?
Cacophony is just a
never heard that
mixture of different sounds that are coming together
Why
and
didn't
creating.
you say that earlier, bro? Why you use big words? This ain't no SAT.
Cacophony. That sounds like a
I know
cacophony.
Cacophony.
A cacophony for like just a mixture of
An
different
amalgamation.
sounds, an amalgamation.
So it's a mixture of cultures.
It's a mixture of cultures because when you think about ska, like you really think about, I mean, reggae, which reggae has its own, backgrounds and different influences. But when you really think about ska, like, especially in South LA or South Central LA, I mean, you have Mexican American cultures who are coming together to create like this specific type of music.
Is Maldita Vecindad?
Maldita Vecindad, I
That's
mean,
ska.
yeah, it's ska. Fool. Like,
I know this. I know
yeah.
them.
But then you also
know
think
one
about
artist.
like, Tijuana No, and you have
Yeah.
Panteon Rococo, like, and you have what's the other one? Fuck, I'm blanking on it. Oh, what's the other big one?
What-
Inspector.
what-
Inspector.
yeah.
I was gonna say what a phony. He don't even know.
No.
Inspector. But Inspector, Tijuana No, and Panteon Rococo, which is like some of the really, really big ones. But then you have the tiny little, bands, which is, Restore Bums and Ocho Calacas, La Resistencia,
South
Viernes
Central
13,
Stinkers.
like South Central Stinkers, like all these very specific type of bands
La
that have created
Porresca.
La Porresca, like all these specific bands that were just created here in South Central and in South LA. You really think about like, and especially because they talk about racism, La Causa, political activism. I think that's where my political activist like journey began through ska music.
Yeah, I think there is a gap in the community of knowing about like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that y'all are two content creators that could make your top 10 ska music or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's like I think there was a gap, or like at some point, like it was pretty big to come and like create like top 10s and showcase people about like artists that you didn't know and educating all of these things, because those are all part of like history. And I think it's active representation. It can put people in the right path. Yeah. But like, I haven't seen that much lately. So I'm not saying that if you're really from LA, bro.
Because you got me into ska, to be honest. Like, and that's when I learned about like how political it could be.
And that's where I think I was 15 when I started really listening to ska, which is what political activism was.
I do think it's interesting though, just because again, like a lot of the ska shows, bro, they'll be in parts of South Central that were unincorporated. You get me? Meaning that they weren't part of the city, so it was the county that provided services to that. Right. So it wasn't LAPD that would come and raid the party for it had to be the sheriffs.
The sheriffs. I remember being raided by sheriffs. Well, not me, obviously, personally, but like just being at shows and the sheriffs like show up.
It used to be active.
And they kick people out for like all that shit.
What were y'all doing there?
Like I remember
I don't know.
They should have sent the National Guard. Wait till I tell Trump about that.
No, literally.
No, but like a lot of ska music is very political, bro, and I think that's what got me into it. Like after you introduced me to it, because I went to a few ska shows when I was in high school, but it was just like too much. Like I was like the emo kid, like so this was like too much. Yeah. But I had a homie, one of my best friends, who he was like, "Let's go to a ska show," and then we would go.
How did y'all meet each other? I asked you guys.
We worked together.
Ago. That's how you guys met each other?
Yeah. So I think in 2017, I was getting ready to finish up my master's program. And in my master's program, part of the program was that you had to get hours, part of your internship. And so I was working as a case manager, basically case manager as far as kind of doing counselor work, but with a very tiny caseload compared to what a counselor does. And so I had 75 students. A counselor normally is anywhere between 300 to 500 students. So I just had 50 kids. And eventually that grew up to 75. And eventually they hired on another case manager, which was Diego. And Diego came on also as a case manager, but he worked with a different batch of kids. That's how we ended up working together.
That's cool, dude. I love like the little bromance.
Yeah,
y'all get vibes of like I know him from middle school. That's the
but it was the ska vibes that he gave out, fool. Because I remember walking up to him, I was like, "Hey, fool, you smoke, huh?" Like, which is very weird in education, right?
Like had black nails, eyeliner.
Which took a while before we got to that.
You get down, fool, huh?
I do remember when we eventually asked each other,
like, "Hey, fool, you smoke, huh?"
Like, oh, fuck. Like,
and he was like, "Yeah,
low key." Instead of kicking after that,
Since then, since it was like 2017, huh?
Yeah, 2017, bro.
Yeah,
December.
December 3rd.
Yeah, I don't know about No, but yeah, I think that's like it kind of just LA is very unique, bro. Like
one thing I would say is that when we really started to kind of connect. A lot of it, as far as from what I remember, is the way that we worked with students. Because me and him, at least a lot of the conversations that we would have is we would talk about students and how we can kind of better our own practice to help students. Because I remember there's plenty of students, because you have students who are undocumented, and me and him would like sit down and like talk about like how can we support these students, how can we create tutoring programs, how can we create sort of like situations so that these students can excel.
Yeah.
And so from there, it kind of just blew up from there. Yeah. And then eventually he started like, hey, dude, you should come kick it. Like, and then we'll go kick it at his house. And
you want to have a sleepover?
Because, again, like, there was a lot of students, bro, where it was like, the student is struggling in class, they refer to you, and then you talk to the student is like, I'm sorry, like, I just work from like 8 p.m. to like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
So they can't focus in school, bro. Like, no, and that's the reality, bro, for like a lot of students. Like, like at least in that area, that's the reality for like a lot of students, bro. Like, they were high school students, but they were also like providing for their family.
And that's where I feel where our connection began, which was we both care about like the same shit. Like, we care about like just sobresalir, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in this situation, to where students shared the similar stories that we had. And it's like, hey, bro, like me and you have been through similar shit, or you've been through some shit, I've been through some shit. Like, but we have this kid, this student, and they're trying to figure out how to come out of this. And then me and him would just like have those conversations.
Which I also think is like a good segue into like you like leaving education and now as a full-time content creator, like how is that for you?
Well, right now, I don't know that I can say that I'm full time because I still got a part-time job to make ends meet. It's spooky, man. It's spooky, but I think
spooky or
it's spooky. Yeah, okay. It's spooky to make the transition because it comes with a lot of instability and trying to figure out how we are going to
next step.
make this work. Yeah, like ideally, I want to be a content creator full time and make content all day, and then be able to find stability that way. But like it's so unstable, bro. Like especially like somebody was asking me about this yesterday at the event that I was in with the Democrats,
which is a huge shout out to you. You know.
It's funny how we brush over that. Huh?
You were at an event with the governor of California, Gavin Newsom.
Some people are not happy about that, bro. Some people are not happy, and I get it too, you know. But I'm trying to take up space. I'm trying to take up space,
which you should,
But some people were asking about that, and if you are on the quote unquote left, it's like difficult to monetize, bro. Like people just want you to work for free. And like we're a room full of educators right now, bro. Like we know better than anyone that everyone wants you to work for free.
It's passion exploitation, bro.
Do you feel like the statement "I'm on the right" versus "I'm on the left"? Like both statements ring differently, right?
I think they do, but I think we're also hella biased. Dude. Like if you're on the right, you're an asshole, probably.
but I feel like the right has such an effective
this
strategy.
Uniformity,
They throw money. They throw money at their creators, bro. They throw a lot of money.
And they've been effective at that, you know. And I think this last election highlighted the disparity between that, where the right is willing to invest on the creators that are spousing their rhetoric, whoop-de-woo, right? Where I don't think the left or the quote-unquote Democrats were willing to occupy that space.
Yeah, and even thinking about organizations, bro. Like think about the pro-immigrant organizations. Where are they getting their money, bro? They can't afford to pay me like money to like make videos for them, but they'll reach out and ask me to do it for free. But like on the other side, the folks that are anti-immigrant, those folks, they have money. And they don't mind throwing it at people to continue to push that narrative.
No, and you're right, bro. Like I remember recently there was like some lady that got fired for like saying the N-word or something like that, bro. And then she had like a GoFundMe and she had like a few $100K. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, people are willing to support you.
A few $100K.
Yeah, dude.
I
Like
think it was like $700K.
It was just
people were
that's a
finding
lot
real
of
hard.
$100Ks, fool.
even like there was that guy that came out in the Jubilee video where he was talking about like, oh yeah, like I was support
Jubilee, bro.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah,
Jubilee.
he had a GoFundMe, bro, and he had like thousands of dollars.
I don't hate Jubilee, bro. I just see it as entertainment.
I know,
but also I think we have the privilege of knowing like this guy is not serious.
If you got invited to Jubilee, would you go?
You should do it, bro. I think you'd be a great candidate for it.
I think
I can't. I'm too patient. I'm too calm.
Oh,
like y'all, if y'all have seen my lives, that I don't get mad. I don't like whatever. I'd be like, oh, so you think that they should deport me? Tell me more. I'm like you can't. Like
I feel like you got a counselor mindset.
But I think that also highlights your strength, bro. Where I think like recently there's been like a lot of Trump supporters that have come out, right? Where I was like, I didn't expect him to do this and that and that, and now they care because it's affecting them.
Yeah,
you know, and I think there's a spectrum of people that respond to that. You know, and I think you respond in the sense of like inquiring, and wanting to have them come to the to the conclusion of like, well, you understand you were wrong, right?
The life space is like so interesting, dude. And like me, and I usually have like moderators. I have guests that are there in the panel that are talking to people, and like the Trump supporters will say like, I'll be back because I like the way that this creator like treats me, and I'm like I'm glad, I guess. I'm glad that I'm like popular with them.
But it's very important, bro, because I think it's
you gotta
like,
humanize, humanize all sides. There's also like a limit. Like there are some folks that are like on the very extreme, and they're just not worth your time, and you gotta acknowledge that. But I think it's the educator in us, bro, that we think like, oh, like everyone has room to grow. Some people like have room to grow, and it's not your problem.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you go through that? Maybe if I ask a certain amount of questions, they could maybe change their mind.
I don't think I care. I think I go in there with one goal. First of all, like I say, it's not a debate. If I come in and I tell you that it's a debate, we both already lost. You're not gonna listen to me. I'm not gonna listen to you. I say we're having a conversation, and my goal is to see if we can meet somewhere in the middle for any of these topics around humanity.
Yeah.
And like sometimes it works. Sometimes I'm talking to someone and they're like, "Oh, you know what? This immigration shit sucks." And I'm like, "Great, let's start there, dude. Think about that. Think about that next time you vote for things.
Yeah.
Or like, it's not too late to be able to switch to the other side and advocate for humanity. And then like and also having the hard line of like, this is unacceptable. This is not okay. But that's like I think that's why I have success.
Yeah.
In some of these conversations, because I don't shut out and like I listen and then I refute and then I call out the misinformation and we do all that stuff. But I'm not here to fight. Like you're coming with fighting words. You're getting sent to that shadow realm, dude. I don't got time for this.
I guess how do you balance the mental health aspect of that then? Like, because some people will say some ignorant, hateful ass stuff, right?
Yeah.
And that has real life consequences.
And you gotta hit and live eventually.
Yeah.
And then you gotta sit there like the few seconds after that, like damn man, that was intense.
Yeah.
Like,
I will say this. Like, did y'all go to mostly like Mexican middle schools?
yeah.
I would say so predominantly.
I was the
predominantly,
fat kid.
bro.
I was the very fat kid, bro. So like people made fun of me. People like did the worst, bro. Like I got bullied in another way, and it was just like so like now I'm in this space and I'm like, dude, like like you're nothing compared to that bully.
No, and I'm glad that you rationalize it that way.
It's also a skill set. Like I gotta be honest. It's like I learned the skills somewhere, and I wouldn't even be able to tell you where, but like those skills that made me a successful teacher, a successful principal, like being able to sit down in the room of people screaming at you and just being like, well, you know, you're right, even if they're not right, to be able to like diffuse the situation and then have a conversation and then leave at the end thanking me for what they've done. It's just like I learned that skill. Sometimes I'm glad that I learned that. Sometimes I think it's a trauma response to like bigger shit that happened. But like it's a superpower that has gotten me a lot of places, and I think I'm happy that I have it.
And it's well deserved, bro. Because I honestly think like you have the patience of. I thought I was a patient person, bro, and then I'll tune into your lives. And I was like, fuck. No, man. Like, because if I had this person in my face, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, like it's props to you, bro.
Yeah,
like
bro.
the fact that
a huge props to you, yeah.
Because I think it is important because the other people who are in that live are listening, at least from what I feel, because I see hundreds, 200 people listening that you're saying, and trying to understand also. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a lot of damn, man. This guy sucks of what he's saying.
Yeah,
but there's plenty of people supporting you, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? I'm here to back him up.
Yeah.
I think
because he's going to get haters on this.
Yeah. Part of the thing is like, one of the goals that I have is giving people the language to say things.
The language,
so like, there are some people that steal my videos ideas, right? Or that they copy word for word things that I say. And then people are like, are you not mad about that? I'm like, no, dude. Like, that's a win. I mean, that guy got 1 million views taking my words. Now the words that I think are important are going out. Now if somebody takes my entire video and they repost the same thing, that I'm like, that's like throw me $1 or something. But like I think the goal has always been like when I do my reaction videos to the racism, when I do whatever, it's always around the idea of like I want people to be able to take the language, so later they can have a conversation and they know exactly what to say. And I think the lives are one of those spaces where like people are singing in real time. Like I'm not just, it's like, sure, like I script my videos too, but like now you're watching me like have a response and in the face of like adversity and like, it's like the same and like, take it away.
And I really appreciate your lives, bro, just because of like, sometimes I'll get some comments and people will be like, bro, that's just rage bait. Let it go. But the reality is like, no, there's someone out there who really thinks this shit. You know, and I think that you give them a platform to express what they think and how they feel. And I think that's very important, fool, because it's also like we do have to give each other space to listen to one another. And I really like that you do that in your lives, you know, because sometimes I'll tune in now, but like, what the fuck? And, you know, but you allow that person to continue their conversation or like their train of thought, you know, and then you'll throw in like, well, let's think about it this way.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it goes back to like the humanistic approach that you have as an educator. into your lives.
I've been given the homework, dude. I feel like the Trump supporters are saying crazy stuff, and then I give another point like, hey, I actually don't want you to answer this right now. Come back to my live next week. Think about this, and then let's see if your perspective changes. And sometimes it does.
Well, just so you know, the stats show that what you're saying is wrong. So
you're giving them homework.
Yeah, bro, and
which is important. Like you gotta give them homework. It's like, this is what we talked about. Okay, now we gotta expand on this.
Yeah.
Okay, go over here and then research, and then come back, and we'll have a.
And sometimes people want to feel seen, dude. Yeah. Sometimes people want to feel seen. Yeah. A lot of people they're like angry and they don't know where to be angry at. And of course they hear Trump and the MAGA say like, you know what, you're angry, I'm angry, and we are angry because of this. And then I'm having these conversations and I'm like, well, so I hear that you are feeling like instability because of the money that you're earning and because that doesn't amount to the food that you want. Did I get that right? And they're like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, well, you know that the policies that you're supporting, like the people that you are supporting, they do not care. They care about this and that. And then it just changes the perspective. And it's like people want to be heard.
And I think you're very unique in that, you know, because I think a lot of people can come off as dismissive. Well, you voted for Trump. Fuck you then. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want nothing to do with you. You know, and I think you create a space where you listen to them to understand their rationality behind it.
Yeah, you know.
So let me explore that.
Yeah, what's really been very interesting is like I come into lives and I talk to folks and they're like, yeah, deport all the immigrants, and I'm like, well, like, all right, let's talk about that. And then like as we're talking, I'm like, yeah, by the way, one of the people you're talking about is me. I'm undocumented. Came here when I was 10 years old. Yeah, like I pay taxes, been a principal, been a teacher, this and that. And they're like, oh. Well, not you, dude. You're not the guy. And I'm like, no, dude. Like we're talking. You said, immigrants. I'm a part of that, and I'm not trying to change your mind. I just want to understand why you think that people like me. And then it's just like, oh,
yeah. And I think you create space for that clarity, where it's like people assume that the immigration process or the pathway to citizenship is so straight line, like streamlined, and it's not. Like
it's not streamlined.
It's not, dude. Like nuanced. It's not. You know, and I think. Well, you've been here 10 years and you didn't apply for your citizenship. Yeah. You didn't give a fuck. Yeah. And it's like, what the fuck, bro? There wasn't an eligible pathway.
You're the correct American. Like you're the American you're talking about. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
we also got to call out that some of it is also straight up entertainment. Like, I will get some folks that are just like wild. And they just say some stuff and I'm just like a couple of times I had like two Trump supporters and one of them is saying some outlandish stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, other Trump supporter. Yeah. Do you agree with what he said? He just called you a weenie, bro. Yeah. And then I'm like, let's see how this goes.
In this whole process of you going live, do you feel like you've learned new things though?
I learn a lot every day.
I do like the outlay that you have though, like the little chalkboard. Was it the chalkboard or the whiteboard in the back? You gave me like the lesson. It's a lesson plan. I like that. I like that aspect, bro.
I made a lesson plan.
It's a schooling like.
I made a lesson plan just so you know. Yeah. Like I used to come in with just like a regular question, and I'm like, and like that worked, and I'm like, let's change more. And the more that I kept doing it, I'm like, next thing I know, I have a welcoming, I have a do now,
roll call, roll call.
And then I have like a closing statements. I need to get better at the action items because they're like stuff that we gotta have folks do in general. But yeah, like you learn a lot, dude. Like having these conversations, it's like people just want to be seen. Some people are not bad. Some people are bad. Some people are like misinformed. Some people have been lied to. Some people have only felt like they've been like taken in by the red hat. Yeah. And they're like, the Mexicans hate me, bro. And when I go to Mexico, they hate me there too. And the Mexican Americans, they hate me. But like these guys with the red hats, when I wear it, I'm like one of them. And I'm like, dude, no, you're not, bro.
you just recently went back to Mexico, though, right?
I did.
How was that experience?
I did advanced parole for the first time in January. I was a part of this program. They were supposed to take me like later, like in March or something. Yeah. But because Trump was getting elected, they just took everyone in January.
They were like, let's do it now.
I was there for 4 days. It was very quick. Yeah. I got a chance to see my father that I hadn't seen since he got deported. I went back to one of the towns that I grew up in. Bro, it was like a blur. Like I didn't even like connect it. I didn't even like acknowledge, reflect on it. I was just like running. It was
very much in and out, huh?
Yeah,
like, I knew I had to leave at this point. So.
Yeah, and maybe I did spend like 2 days with my family, but it was like so busy. And like, I wasn't with my dad. We were driving from Morelia down to Playa Azul, right? And it was like a 5-hour drive. And then we were driving and we were just talking, bro. And like we were talking like so fast, so much, radio off. And it was like we were trying to catch up on like 15 years of our life that we didn't spend together. On a 4-hour drive, and we didn't do it, bro. I have some major daddy issues with me and my dad. Like I've been very disappointed by him, very upset by him, and like I'm like I don't want to be upset on my dad. Like we have to work through it, and like I just didn't have enough time, dude. That and the saying goodbye was rough, bro. Like he dropped us off at the airport in Uruapan, bro, and it was like I don't know, like when my dad left Mexico, I was 4 years old, and I have this memory of my dad like leaving and like getting on this plane, and we were like waving at the plane, like, oh, that's where my dad is. And then it was like switching the script, you know, of like now I'm leaving, but like I'm home, and like I actually felt so like welcome in this space. It was so different, bro, and like knowing that like I don't know when I'm gonna come back. My abuelito's getting old. I don't know when I'm gonna get to see him. My uncles are getting old. I don't know when I'm gonna get to see him. You know. So it was like it was beautiful. I have legal entry, but cuando me case, I can get my papers. It's just like it reignited the idea that I am stuck in this golden cage and I can't leave. And the golden cage got a lot smaller. You know, like I haven't left the Bay since Trump got elected. Like I came here for like this event yesterday, and I'm like, voy a aprovechar, bro. I'm gonna go see I'm gonna see homies. I'm gonna do this podcast that we talked about. I'm gonna do all this shit. I drove an hour out here for y'all, dude.
Yeah, I know. And a shout out to you, bro. And I think it's that like a lot of what you mentioned right now kind of highlights the experience of like a lot of DACA recipients, right? Where it's very timeline oriented. Where you didn't submit your renewal application, or you're no longer eligible.
And I told Diego, I was like, we just asked this fool to come all the way to Rialto, which is nowhere near LA, bro.
Nowhere, bro.
Hey, y'all, para que ven que sí los quiero, bro. Like y'all, I see the promise, and you starting to make content, dude. Apúrate. And like I appreciate the work you do, bro. So like. I haven't since the last time that we met, and when I knew that y'all had I didn't know you had a setup, dude. But
it didn't exist back then.
But like when I was like I'm going and like I don't have a lot of time. Like there is 2 people that I want to see. Like my homie that I just went to see earlier today, and then I was like and like these 2 fools, like we're gonna make it happen. When this will text me like you want us to meet you halfway, or you down to drive an hour? I'm like,
it's because it's a mission, bro. Like, but again, a huge shout out to you for like making it. Because we were talking earlier, we're like, this was from the Bay, bro. He doesn't know, like,
And I was telling my wife,
geographical area
like, can you believe Señor Barragan is coming?
Yeah,
and she was like, wait, doesn't he live in like San Francisco? I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. It's not just 1 hour from LA to Rialto. It's 7 hours plus.
Yeah.
And considering the whole situation, it's more than just 7 hours, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Like, it's more than that.
Yeah. We're exposing you.
Yeah, like, there's a deeper...
Southern California.
There's a deeper conversation.
It's beautiful out here, not in the hood.
Yeah.
He said again, I used to be Diego from LA.
Yeah. I gotta update that.
I gotta say though, like I know that this like the setup was like a pain, dude.
Yeah.
I actually think you not having a computer open like encouraged me to be like, oh, let's not do the live, dude. And it feels way more personal, bro. Like I know you're gonna want to go and like tinker and try to set it up. Like I think that like as long as like you don't like lose your footage from like from the thing, I actually think this setup like works way better, bro. It feels like way more personal.
Yeah.
Like there was no distractions. I felt guilty like pulling out my phone earlier. And I think it just helps with it. I know that I gotta cut out soon. I have I want to leave you all with this words of affirmations that I wrote. I made a video about this already, but like I think it's powerful as a reminder of where we come from. I used to be a spoken word artist, bro. Like,
I've seen some of your content.
So I know. So like this one is called Pa Delante.
Yeah, let us know. Drop it.
Yeah.
And like the whole beautiful thing about this poem is that it's actually when I wrote it, it had a bunch of blank spots because I wanted folks to be able to take it and be able to fill in the blanks with things that were important to them. Yeah. So when I'm gonna read it in Spanish, both of you speak Spanish. There's an English version too, si quieren para los no sabos. But like the whole idea is that it's gender neutral. You can put people that you care about, and I'm gonna list people that are important to me. But like if somebody is there that you don't fucks with, you just delete the line. Yeah. If like there is somebody else that's missing, like you have an aunt or like you have a primo that like, you really appreciate, like put them in there, you know. Yeah. And it's just an idea about acknowledging where you come from and where you're willing to go. So it's called Pa Delante.
It's adaptive.
Yeah. Es Pa Delante. Estoy destinado a la grandeza porque soy el hijo de Francisca Cruz, sobrino de Don Gato, nieto de Lola, Lucía, Ramón y José, con tatarabuelos desnombrados, ancestros que sobrevivieron todo, sacrificaron lo poco que tenían por mi camino. Conmigo cargo sus sueños, dentro de mí viven sus ganas. No es coincidencia ni mala suerte este desafío mío, es el privilegio que se me ha otorgado, es el privilegio que me he ganado. Al alcance de mi mano, grande es mi destino.
Yeah.
I love that, bro.
So we're all destined for greatness. And the reason why I wanted to end it with this, bro, is because like, there's a lot of power in the space, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, Carlos already knows what I'm about to say, bro. About to call him out. There's a lot of power in the space, bro. And like when I came in, I heard you like, oh, like the new house, like this and that, bro. And like, you got this, bro. Like, I think your voice is important. And like, I think we need to take up space.
Yeah.
And like, that's my push, bro. Like, we need to take up space. Carlos.
Yeah.
Get chingado.
Yeah. Your turn, bro. And I love that you say that, bro.
Let me finish talking shit to this.
Go ahead.
Carlos, bro, like, you know how many Latino counselors like exist? There's a good amount, bro. You know how many of them are actively well spoken, that can articulate ideas, that have a perspective, that can fill in blanks. It's like, like I have no idea, bro, because they're not out there doing
it's
the
less
work.
than 15%.
But you're also in a very unique position, bro, in the sense of like that you're Mexican and Guatemalan, fool.
Yeah.
Like, because sometimes
I just had Guatemalan food today, bro. Y'all go hard.
you know, like sometimes, like, and just being honest, sometimes there tends to be a hegemony of Mexicans in the LA region.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that like your experience as being bicultural in that aspect, like, is very important, fool, because a lot of Chapines will be like, oh, what? I didn't know that fool was Chapin. Like,
and I think,
if I can say that.
yeah.
I don't think you can, bro.
Oh, shit.
I'll to say that it's like I hear the hesitancy.
Yeah.
I think I had you in one of my lives. I had you in one of my lives, and I forced you to give yourself some like shout outs. In general, bro. And like, just so you know, like, I think this room at the very least, like, I hope to like believe in your in your word, and like I want to see you out there, bro. And like, it's not about like, I think it's like at the beginning it's like hard because we all like push on like the numbers, push on like the whatever, you know. But I think just like a perspective out there is important, dude.
No.
And last time that I was here for, remember I gave him a bunch of ideas. I gave him my username and everything.
I've been waiting on him, fool. I've been telling him, I was like, hey, fool, like, post some videos, and he was like, oh.
Yeah. No, I do thank you for that, because when I was in that live, and you know what's funny? I had thought so much about putting in the request for the live, because it asks you, are you sure you want to go live?
And now you could, like, though. Remember back then when you had to have like a certain following to go live?
And I was like, fuck, like, do I want to? And in that moment, I was getting ready to get home. And I was like, fuck it. Like, I'll just go in real quick. Like, hey, fool.
Didn't I tell you to go in?
And in my brain, I was just like, I'm just going to thank Señor Barragan real quick for just putting on these lives to begin with. That was my whole plan.
That's right.
And that's what I did. I was just like, hey, thank you, bro. Like, I join when I leave work because you get on at 4 and I can just watch you while I go to work. And then the first thing you said was like, oh, so you just watch me from convenience?
No. But I
was like, low key, like, from convenience, sure. Like, but because it's from convenience, it's a lot of what I learn. Like, I learn a lot from like what you say, from what people are saying, and what people from the other side are saying. Yeah. And so I would watch a lot of it, and I was just thinking, like, man, like, this is awesome. Like, I get to learn just going home from work. That was it.
And to his point, bro, was like, I think it's, again, a huge shout out to you, to the space that you create, bro. Because, like, I'll get out of work and I'll call him. I was like, what's up? Like, what are you doing? He was like, fool, I'm a Señor Barragan's live. Like, are you gonna join in? I was like, fuck it, fool. Like, I'll go in there. You get me? And again, like, I think it's just the space that you create, bro. Like,
the space you create.
Yeah, dude. Like, where I think from the educator perspective, you want to give like the person.
You're such an educator, bro.
Yeah.
You're such an educator, bro.
Because it's very easy to want to tune out somebody, bro. But I think it's you create the space of where like I'm gonna let somebody express themselves and try to understand why you think that. But here we're gonna inform you as to why you could be wrong, you know. But also like
learn
and learn from that. But the humanistic approach of like we're just people, bro. Like, you know, and I think a lot of that is missing in some content where it's very much like it's me or them. But you create a space of where like, let's invite them, let's engage in the process of learning, because we know that learning is a lifelong process, you know. And I think
And here's a key phrase that you say. I'm going to challenge you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna challenge you to explore this thought. Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I got from inviting
Which
me to
isn't
join
problematic, you know. It's just
I'm gonna challenge you to think about it. Like, okay, you have this thought. Okay, let's challenge you on that. Let me ask you some questions further, right? And I think that's important, bro.
Yeah,
that's super important.
Because I like again, like I don't understand the mind of a rural voter in fucking Virginia or some shit. I don't, you know. But I think giving them the grace to explain themselves, their thought process, that's the platform that you create, bro. Mm-hmm. You get me? So like I'll join sometimes when I'm driving home, and I was like, oh shit, like. I understand why people have this thought process because it's just part of the human experience to like, oh, well, I heard this vocabulary and it resonated with me, so I'm going to vote for that person. You know, but at the end of the day, we live in a society, bro, where we have to connect with one another. And I think you create like a platform of that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think you're very unique in that, like where you're not shaming somebody. You're more like, here's a space to learn. If you're wanting to learn, you're welcome, you know. Because at the end of the day, there's some people that don't want to learn that, like, oh, well, no, this is that. Mm-hmm.
I actually came up with the right wording for something that I've been trying to figure out in my head. Is that like I actually really love fucking making fun of people, bro. Like, you'll know this.
It's the Mexican way, bro.
You'll know this because you but in person, so you know, like the way that echamos el carrilla, relajo, lo que sea. But like I was thinking of like, dang, something like this Trump supporters come in and I want to make fun of them too. I want to like call them out on their stuff, you know. And I think that I am going to allow myself to shame folks, and be inviting at the same time. Yeah. Like, hey, you fucked up. You shouldn't have done that. Also, it's not too late to come to the right side, which is the left.
Oh,
but
man.
I love that, bro.
I love that, bro.
I love that, bro. Just because it's incorporating your own cultural background into it. Because, like in Mexican culture, sacha carilla. Like it's just.
Siguiendo la corriente,
you know, like,
there's so many different
si no sabes, yo no te lleves. Like, but it's also like, it's how you bond with certain people, you know, like we all had nicknames for like probably growing up from your own mom. Yeah. You get me, my mom fucking used to call me Esqueleto Rumbero just because I was skinny. You get me, my older brother was called Albóndiga con patas just because he was on the bigger side. But it was like with endearment, you know.
They used to call me Gordo Lobo, bro. Because I was fat and hairy.
But I had a homie who had a cousin that they called Taza. And I was like, why do you guys call him Taza? He was like, oh, it's because he's missing one of his ears. I was like, yo!
That's a very nice
I was like, what?
Some people don't understand.
But it's just like, that's how people get along. And I think that's an aspect of your own cultural background that you're able to bring into the space for, and I think it exposes other people to different ways of being, and I think it's a huge shout out to you. Yeah. Like I'm telling you, like, we're both fans of you, bro. Like and know that like in this region, for like a lot of people look up to you, bro. Yeah, like just know that, bro. Like, bro.
Well, I'm a fan of the two of you. That's why I made my trek out here. Yeah, and this is why like I'm hoping to see you all both continue to take up space. Yeah, that's my new frame right now. Like taking up space.
I think that's the thing. That's the theme of this whole thing, which is like taking up space.
Yeah. Which you did, being at that Vote for Prop 50 event with the governor of California, Gavin Newsom. You know,
even though I
turned my ballot.
Yeah, I voted in person, bro. I voted, but a huge shout out to you, bro. Like I think Esther, we're very blessed that you were here today. You know, you made the trek out here to the IE.
Yeah, I know.
To the IE.
Inland Empire.
Inland Empire. You know. And
wait, this ain't Riverside?
We're part of the same county now, though.
Okay.
You're no longer in the LA County.
Yeah, I know.
You know, but a huge shout out to you, Angel, Señor Barragan. Like, if you want to. You're one on, bro. Like, drop your socials, if anything, if you want.
I think people know me, Señor Barragan, on all socials. I think, except for whenever y'all post this, I have a Discord that I just started in general. It's called La Casita.
Yeah.
You can go to tinyurl.com/lacasita1 and y'all can join. I want to safeguard the space for the community, and I actually think that you all should join and bring in like your supporters to come in and join. And just let's make it a space to uplift, celebrate, share resources, and have community. Because like all of these other platforms, it's spooky, man. Like TikTok ain't it? Like Instagram, is it safe? Facebook, nobody uses Facebook in this room. I use it sometimes. Snapchat, but like I don't even know, dude. Like I started a newsletter. Like we have people, but there is no way to actually talk to one another. And this is why during the lives, I can actually like have a discourse with anybody and everyone And the Discord at this moment, I think we're like at 30 people. It's like very, very small right now. But that's like a great place where like people can actually have discussions and connect. We had our first beef the other day. But I think somebody called La Presidenta a communist from Mexico. And like people were like, it's just like, that's like a wild statement to make, bro.
Yeah.
But all to say is like, that will be the one shout out that I'll do. And that I will invite you all to come in and take up space in that space.
Yeah. Well, invite accepted, bro.
Yeah.
We'll
tinyurl.com/la casita one.
And you also have merch though, right?
I do.
The brown as fuck or the
I had the brown pride.
The brown pride, yeah, the brown pride. Because I saw you have the shirt, huh?
I have the sweater.
Dude, he
has a shirt, yeah. And then the poor races or
the poor racism, dude. I love that.
Yeah,
love
the
that.
poor racism, yeah.
Although I have a couple of these shirts that I really like. There was one that says "History is watching," and letras chiquitas "No la cagues." And then there was the "Sorry, no English." And then letras chiquitas "Si hablo, pero no quiero hablar contigo."
Yeah, and people can order the merch on your links, right?
Yeah, they can do.
Yeah. Yes, so order the merch for Señor Barragan. Like I'm telling, like an educator, a Mexican. A person that just cares for the overall well-being of people here in the state of California and all across the world, bro. Like, you should be proud of everything you've accomplished, man.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for the space.
Yeah, we're proud. 100%, bro.
This is a milestone for us, bro. Like, having you here, bro. Like, I just want you to know that.
Like to think when we started this in 2020, bro, when COVID was happening, I was wearing masks to his house, bro. Like that's how it started, bro. Yeah. And he'd be like, "Hey, bro, come over," and I'd be like, "Fuck, like I'm not sure, like I'm about to have a kid, like don't want to get COVID," and But the fact that 5 years later, bro, we're having Señor B like out here. Yeah, it's a big deal, bro.
And I think it just goes to highlight. I don't know what word. I think it just goes to highlight, bro, like how down to earth you are, how humble you are.
Yeah.
And we wish you the most successful, like in the next steps of your journey.
Yeah. Safe drive back home.
And a safe 1 hour drive back home. Damn. Wait, are you going to go to your hotel and then pack?
No, I'm gonna go to the hotel, work for a couple hours, and then tomorrow, and then tomorrow morning I'll head out.
Yeah. I'll give you some snacks on the way out, though.
Yeah, but
I'll look at your snacks. I'm trying to be healthy.
I'll make you a torta, bro.
Full circle, bro.
Full circle. But thank you again, Señor Barragan. We're very excited to have had you here on the Caile podcast. Like, again, we're very blessed, bro. Like, thank you for the work that you do all across the state of California, all across like La Gente Latina here representing. I think you're a pride, bro. Like, I want you to know that. For like, trust me, bro. Like, when I go to work, people are like, "Oh, did you see this video?" And I was like, "Oh, which video are you talking about?" And it's your video, fool.
Yeah.
Like,
so people, know that your voice.
People share my stuff on their story, and then my friends are like, "Oh, how embarrassing!" I know that guy.
Know that your voice, bro. It goes across ways, bro. Trust me, fool. Trust me. Even here in Southern California, like knowing that you're from the Bay and all that.
Yeah.
Just know that in Southern California, bro. Like Southern California welcomes you. Southern California loves you, bro.
Yeah. I worn your hoodie. I worn your hoodie to work, for, and then people have asked me about that hoodie. And like, "Oh, Señor Barragan, like, definitely watch this content."
Because you also promote that the brown is beautiful, bro.
Yeah.
And I
haven't done it enough lately, but it's
But your existence, fool, and occupying space, fool, is a reflection of that.
You saying I'm beautiful, dog?
Yeah.
Hey, ain't no shame in it, bro. Ain't no shame in it, fool. Let me lift my eyebrow.
Still surprised you didn't mention the couch at all one time.
All right, it's time. Uncast.
Did we end it with the clap?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.